May 2026. Now, there are a couple of fundamental events today. One already got released, and that's the CPI from the United Kingdom, though it's not really moving the market as such, but we'll still check it out. And later today by 2:15 p.m., there will be monetary policy report hearings. This will be a report from the United Kingdom beginning by 2:15 p.m. It might move the market. Then 7 p.m. FOMC meeting minutes. Now, this is not the main FOMC, so we really don't expect much volatility from it. So those are the expected economic reports from United Kingdom today, and I think United States today. So I'll go straight to the chart. We'll look at what the technical is saying, for today. I have a few instruments I've analyzed, which we'll look at. I'll be looking at the AUD card and the NZD card today because I'm, spotting some setup on them, which could result into some profitable trading opportunity. Now, this is the AUD card on the daily time frame. The overall trend here is bullish. Price has touched the trend line multiple times in an uptrend, and there is a support here complementing that uptrend. So technically, we're going to be looking for an upward movement on AUD card today. So I'll just flip straight to, okay, let's go to the 4-hour. I started from the daily. On the 4-hour, there was a previous rejection candle touching the tip of that support zone. That also indicates possible movement to the upside. And finally, we are on the 1-hour. Now I'm seeing a falling wedge pattern that is forming, which is also an indication of a possible bullish breakout. But then on a closer look on 30 minutes time frame, and I think I'll prefer the 30 minutes time frame. I'm seeing here from that rejection candle on the 4-hour, a formation of an inverse head and shoulder, which will lead to the trigger. An inverse head and shoulder pattern is a bullish reversal pattern. All right. So you can see that price has kind of broken out above that the neckline region of the inverse head and shoulder pattern. But then price is just still in a kind of a range. Volatility is still a bit low. So we take this area as a range, as a kind of a minor resistance. And we'll wait for a clear breakout above that level for us to trigger a buy on the AUD card. Please, I want to be certain. Can you all hear me clearly? Please, if you can hear me clearly, can you type a yes in the comment section? I don't think I like my sound. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, thank you. Okpara. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will wait for a clear breakout above that region I just marked, to trigger a buy on the AUD card on 1-hour. Now, if we take a buy on the 1-hour, price will likely hit this trend line. Now, one or two things will happen. Price may either trend line and break out, or we may experience some retracement. Either of the two is possible. But to get more defined area where we're looking for profit, we can use our Fibonacci tool. All right. Thank you to all those who, responded to that question I asked. Thank you. So I know you can all hear me clearly. All right. So we're going to be using our Fibonacci levels for profit taking. And from what I can see here, I have two levels that price may likely hit. If price breaks out, above this recent resistance I just drew, well, for scalpers, you can look for some 10 piece of Fibonacci 38.2. But then for day traders, the good one is Fibonacci 50. And 50 is just okay because reversal could take place, retracement or reversal could take place at that point, and it coincided with exactly the area where price may touch the trend line. So I think we just look for that movement alone. No point taking two trades. So just look at a 25 pip or 20 to 25 pip movement. If price breaks out, price is already testing that resistance. It's already testing it. So if price breaks out above it, maybe in the next 30 minutes or the next 1 hour, then it depends on your choice of time frame for entry. You may trigger some 20 to 25 pip movement on the AUD card, on the 30 minutes time frame. Now, if the volatility is strong, definitely it may go beyond that level. So if you're going to be opening more than one trade, you may want to make Fibonacci 50 your take profit one, and possibly maybe 50 Fibonacci 61.8 as your Fibonacci, as your take profit two. So that means you're looking at 20-25 pips of take profit one, and about 35-40 pips to take profit two. It could go beyond that too, but those are the safe levels we can look at this morning. So we're bullish on the AUD card. So we're bullish on the AUD card this morning on the 30 minutes time frame. And also I'll be looking at the NZD card. The NZD card on the 4-hour time frame is, we can see an uptrend on the NZD card. Okay, even if you take it to the daily, it's still the same thing. Still the same uptrend, upward movement. And the daily candle is already forming a rejection candle, but as usual, that is really early. It's still early for us to the day. Anything can happen in the course of the day. Anything can still happen. It can go that way or otherwise. So, but then we still talk about what we're seeing in technical analysis. What you see is what you trade. But what is important is that price is generally in an uptrend, and we expect, a further movement to the upside. We're expecting price to continue in that direction. We don't trade against the trend. The trend is always our friend. So we're always friendly, with the trend. Like I always say jokingly that in Nigeria, the police is your friend. For us, the trend is our friend. All right, so we switch over to 1 hour time frame, or let's look at 4 hour before we go to the 1 hour route. Nothing, we already explained the 4 hours, so let's go straight down to 1 hour time frame. And this is the 1 hour. Better still, let me see 30 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes, I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulder forming here with the neckline region right there. And price is testing that neckline region. All things being equal, if price makes a clean break above the neckline region, then we're going to see, a bullish movement. We're going to see a breakout to the upside. And if that happens, we may be using our Fibonacci to capture profit-taking levels. Okay, so let's look at our entry around that Fibonacci 13.2. Then we have very short movement here. Very, very short. You can look at profit in the range of some 10 to 18 pips on this one. It's still an evolving pattern though. Some 10 to 18 pip movement, that's more like scalping. It's possible on this one. But then if price is able to break this trend line here, yes, we'll have a bigger move. If price is able to break that, is now forming a proper falling wedge. If you can get a clear breakout above the trend line or the falling wedge, yes, we'll have a bigger and more sustained move. And I think that's what we should pay our attention more on. I think that should be more appropriate. I think we should put our focus more on that. That inverse head and shoulder leading us to a breakout. And even for the inverse head and shoulder, RSI is still below 50. So I think we should it's just at 50 now. But we need a clear breakout. Let price clearly break out. Let's leave the lower time frame. Let's stick with 1 hour. Let price clearly break out, and possibly our MACD crossing above zero. That will also give us something more credible. That will give us something more credible. All right. So if that happens, that would trigger some good movement, in the market, and that will give some more uh reasonable profit. Okay. So that means we can clearly look at about 24 pips to Fibonacci 38.2, about 40 pips to Fibonacci 50, and as much as about 60 pips to Fibonacci 61.8. So we're bullish on both the AUD card and the NZD card. Whichever one triggers first out of the two of them is good to go. So that inverse head and shoulder is just to trigger us into the main thing. So watch out for that in the course of today. All right, and finally, I'll be looking at the NZD-USD. All right, so that's the NZD-USD on the 4-hour time frame. I'm seeing the formation of a double bottom pattern, which may trigger a move to the upside. Now, this one is purely swing. So all I've mentioned so far, they are purely intraday setup, but this particular one is a swing setup. It's purely a 4-hour setup. Price hit a support zone right there, and we are expecting a move to the upside. So we'll follow the rule right here and look at the neckline region, and we'll only be trading if price breaks out above the neckline. So you're there this morning, you're a swing trader. This is just your trade. So watch out for price breaking out above the neckline to the upside, and you can trigger a buy on the NZD-USD. Now, if price breaks out as analyzed using our Fibonacci tool, maybe looking at profit in the range of about 20 pips to Fibonacci 50, 40 pips to 61.8, and as much as about 70 pips to Fibonacci 78.6. All right, so that's going to be all from my end this morning. I'll take a few requests. Mr. Inyeti Akwan is asking me to check USD So let's check that. USD. Now, at the beginning of the week, I held a bullish outlook on the USD because on the weekly time frame, we've had price bouncing off the trend line. Yes, last week was a bullish one. This week, I said we're expecting some bulls. Though I also gave a caution because price, you know, was equally approaching a resistance right there on the weekly time frame. All right, I remember clearly now this analysis. I said there was a minor support on resistance here that price may retrace before hitting here, then we may see a drop. But then in the last couple of days, that was on Monday, price has been in the range. Price has been in the range on the USD just been ranging. And we don't have any serious fundamental from the US today till 7 p.m., which, intraday traders will have been out of the market by then. So I will advise you still trade the USD with caution. Trade it with caution. We don't really have much clarity. If at all you want to trade it today, we'll just look at this range box here and watch out for a breakout. If price breaks out to the downside, you may take a sell, but you're not staying too long, maybe some 10, 20 pips. If it breaks out to the upside also, you may take a buy. So we are in a range on the USD Just wait for a slight breakout to catch some pips. That's all you can do on the USD for now. All right, so that's for Mr. Inyeti Akpan. Okay. Sajisho Kore, gold. Daniel Essien, gold. Okay, Mahmoud Usman, please be mindful. Your annotation tool is distracting me. Please stop drawing on your screen. It's causing distraction. You're welcome, Mr. Akpan. All right, so we look at gold. Stanley Odion, please give me the name of the trading app. This is MetaTrader. It's downloaded on our platform, on our website, puprime.com. Right, so this is gold on the daily time frame. Price broke a support zone yesterday on the daily. All along, I've been bullish on gold, but price broke the support. Price broke the trend line and the support yesterday. So price seems, overall, if you follow my analysis for a long time, I've been bullish. But now price broke that trend line and the recent support on the daily time frame. All right, so let's go down to 4 hour. Now, usually when price breaks a key level, what happens most of the time is a retest and possibly a continuation. That's what usually happens in terms of price structure movement. Now, I just added another information to that now. So one or two things could happen. You can see I just drew a trend line. Lower high, lower high. Now this lower high here could end up being a point of confluence where if price retraces to this zone, that will lead to a massive free fall in price. So watch out for a retracement back to 4511.64. If price could retrace back to that area, now you can do one or two things. You may do a pending order there if that's your trading style, or you wait and go to a lower time frame like 15 minutes and capture a trend line breakout. So if price is doing its own upward movement, you may capture a trend line breakout manually, and trigger a move downwards. At least the first level price will get to, if this works out as analyzed, is that price will hit this particular point. It will come and hit here. That's the first profit taking level. That's going to be some close to some 400 pips, and it could break beyond that level. Very possible. So I'm giving a confluence here, a confluence. Especially here where price meets the trend line and the support turn resistance. That's a massive confluence you don't want to miss. Now, if you end up missing that first move, there's nothing to worry. When price breaks beyond this level, it will still continue. So you can still trigger a sell even after price breaks below the recent low. So generally, I'm bearish on gold. But please, I did not say enter a sell now. There needs to be a retracement first before the breakout happens. Eddie Fang, BTC USD. Okay, so we have a support on resistance closed last week as a tweezer top. Technically, we need to be bearish on BTC USD. On the weekly, it's a bearish trend. On the daily, we can see in the last couple of days, it's been a bearish one. This is the 4 hour. We have a minor support right there. But then the overall trend is bearish. So if you want to enter a sell two ways, there's a minor support here also. You may want to do some scalping. You can come down to 15 minutes. And if price breaks this support, you can trade to the next bigger support level. That's if you're a scalper, that's what you can do. Or otherwise, you wait for a clear breakout below this level to trigger a sell. So either way it goes, I'm bearish on BTC USD. But like I said, you may want to look at that 15 minutes, for an early entry and just catch some pips. If price is able to break out below this, then target the next one. That can produce some 73, 75 pips movement. So I'm bearish on BTC USD. NAS 100. All right. All right. So NAS 100 has been in an uptrend for quite some time. The trend started way back 2022, around December 2022. It's been in a massive uptrend. But then it looks like it's going to take some breathing in recent time because you can see price touching the trend line, higher, another higher over there. That's the recent one. And we had a rejection candle there last week, signifying some form of weakness. So we may have some retracement. It may not be a complete reversal, it may be a retracement. So we'll go down to daily. On daily is giving this outlook of something close to a head and shoulder forming there. but it's not so strong like that on 4 hour. If it comes down to 1 hour time frame, it's just noise we are seeing here. This is just a range. But generally, this should give us a bearish trend we're expecting on this particular instrument. But the lower time frame is just noise at the moment. But notwithstanding, if price can break out below this box, you may look at taking some sell on NAS 100. And I would advise you target a reasonable profit level. Now, you know that Donald Trump is working seriously on the American economy, so all the stocks may not really sell in a long term. It may seem more of opportunity for buying. So don't stay too long in a selling position. Just target recent support levels and you'll be safe. A breakout from that support zone to the next support, which I just drew now, can give as much as 127 pips, and that's not too bad. Don't be greedy. Okay, I'll take Euro USD and Euro JPUSD, and I think I'll be done with that. All right, so this is the USDX. I started the week with a double bottom pattern on the dollar index, and you can see price has moved up as analyzed at the beginning of the week. Now, currently, price is testing the trend line. So if it's unable to break above it, definitely what we'll be expecting is, a reversal in price. And if you find that on the dollar index, that means that supports a bullish movement on an instrument like Euro USD, where price is currently in an uptrend and might break out more to the upside. So for Euro USD, it's been selling. I think I analyzed a bearish setup for it last week, and it followed that direction. Now we're not really having a clear pattern for entry for Euro USD now, except the fact that I'm seeing a range on 30 minutes. I'm not seeing clear-cut patterns like maybe a double bottom or inverse head and shoulder, a clear-cut trend line, but I can clearly see a range box right there. So you may want to wait for price to break out of this range box, preferably RSI and MACD above zero when that happens. And the price may target this next resistance. If you want to just take a trade, price may target that next resistance. That's about 45 pips. So we're bullish on the Euro USD. So definitely JPUSD should likely give the same outlook. But JPUSD price hits a resistance turn support on the week, sorry, on the daily time frame. That's a resistance turn support, and ended up forming a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. So that should still drive price to the upside. Please mute your device as you join this session. So this is JPUSD on 1 hour, giving us an outlook of what's close to an inverse head and shoulder, which might trigger to the upside. However, to be on the safe side, we're only looking at taking a buy if price can clearly break out above this box. All right, so I think I've attended to almost everybody. We need to go now. I've attended so many, more than 7 setup. We've done gold, we've done BTC, we've done NAS 100,
I've not taken
USDJPY.
on is EJ.
I will oblige you. That's the last one I'll do. I don't need to attend to all. I've given my own analysis, which is actually the most important one. This is just additional I'm doing.
Good morning. Please, I want to ask. Uh, I was trying to download the MetaTrader. All I can see there is MetaTrader 5 or 4.
Okay. So what's the question?
Which one should I take? Is it the 4 or 5? I don't know.
Are you a new trader or an experienced trader?
No, I'm new. I'm just trying to download download the app so I can be practicing alongside
Then download the 4.
the 4. Okay, thank you.
I hope you have an account with PU Prime, sir.
You said?
I hope you have a trading account with PU Prime.
No.
You have to, otherwise the app may not work. Because you still need to
PU.
log in.
Okay,
You need to
PU
log
Prime.
into your PU Prime trading account to access your to open a demo account or access your live. So it's not just about downloading the app on the site. You need to have an account with PU Prime.
Okay, how do I go about that?
Okay. Sorry, which of the groups did you join this session from?
I just joined yesterday from WhatsApp.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Just send me a chat. I'll guide you on how to get registered.
All right then.
Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
one that sent the link for this analysis. Send me a private chat, I'll guide you.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am.
Please, I've been on a buy trade on gold since yesterday, and it refused to break out. It continued to sell, but now with this analysis you made on USDX, that other anti-dollars may likely buy, can I still hold on to the buy on the gold?
Okay, let's get back to gold and see what's happening.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, in my analysis of gold this morning, I said that this is gold on the daily time frame. I said gold just yesterday it broke a support. We have a support here, valid support. Price gold broke the support. So if we go down to a lower time frame like 1 hour, this is what you can see. This is the support that price broke. So it may go back to retest that support, but may drop further afterwards. See, there are times when price does not follow this analysis that once dollar index is bullish, gold will be bearish, and there are exceptions. There are exceptions to that rule. So there are times when it's possible dollar index may be selling and gold may also sell. It may happen. It's not as if it's a law that cannot change. There's no law that cannot change when it comes to the financial market because it's more about the forces of demand and supply. And there are many other economic factors like war, government policy, and many other things, that can change the market outlook. So from my projection, gold may retest that previous support now as a resistance, and it may become a high probability level for a downward movement because of this trend line. So we may get a bigger sell. So what may happen now is this. I don't know at what point you entered, but if gold will return back to the previous support turn resistance from the current price level, that would take some 500 pips. I believe that should be enough for you to be off your negative trade.
Yes, sir.
So I think that's
Yes,
just
sir.
all you need. So just hold on and let's see how it plays out.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm very grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, the EJ. I'll drop this somewhere. Okay. All right, so Euro JPY is on a support zone at the moment on the 1 hour time frame. This is a support, but then there's not been much volatility on this instrument, so please trade it with a lot of caution. The volatility has not been so steady. It's trying to form a double bottom right here, so we may be looking at an upside movement if price breaks the neckline region here as a double bottom. So you may be looking at a bullish movement on the Euro JPY for the person asking about Euro JPY, except if price breaks this box to the downside and touches this trend line. Even at that, it may still want to break out to the upside. But for now, I want to just focus more on this proposed double bottom, which may see price go to the upside. So I'm bullish on Euro JPY. All right, that will be the end of the analysis this morning. The link to the video will be dropped. So you can watch it again.
So I also want to ask one question, sir. Please, sir.
All right.
The other day you were analyzing, you were talking about DJ30. And you said US 30, but PU prime call it DJ30. Then you were saying that two of them work in the same direction. Before we heard that it was the same direction as NAS 100. I don't know whether you meant that it works the same, because whether you mean that it works the same direction as NAS 100, 100. Do two of them still work the same way up to now? Sorry, sir. Because you made mistake and you were talking about DJ30 and the US 30. Analyzing the two as two different, but you meant that it was the same thing. But you made mention that they go in the same direction, or before you told us that it goes the same direction as NAS 100. So I don't know whether you meant NAS 100, both of them go together, whether they are still the same up till now.
Okay. What happened that day was that two different people, one person typed DJ30, another one typed US30. So for a split second, I was looking for both. It now occurred to me that, hey, US30 on our platform is labeled as DJ30. So it's the same instrument. So if anybody tells you, you will not see US30 on PE Prime platform, what you will see is DJ30. But when people trade with other platform and what they see is US30, so they are not aware that it's DJ30 on our platform. So it's still the same thing, it's the same instrument. And what I was saying is that DJ30 and NAS 100, they move in the same direction most of the time.
All the time.
Because they are positively correlated. No, you cannot use the word all the time. You see, there are no absolutes in trading. You can say most of the time, because there will be exceptions when they may not. So, but they go in the same direction most of the time. Yes, I can attest to that. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful.
You're welcome. And finally, before I go, if you join my analysis on Monday, I gave my outlook for the week. I analyzed 4 instruments: Euro AUD, Euro NZD, GBP AUD, and the GBP NZD. Those are the 4 instruments I analyzed at the beginning of the week, and I said I was bullish on all of them. Let me just give you an update on the 4. As I went with other analysis on Monday, Euro AUD, today's Wednesday, today's 20th, Monday was 18th. So price was somewhere around there. We've had a movement to the tune of about 113, 115 pips on Euro AUD. It's a bullish setup, but currently price is in a zone where we need to be very careful. It's around a resistance zone, so there may be some maybe retracement and probably a continuation later, but So far, we've seen over 100 pip movement on the Euro AUD. On the Euro NZD, this one has not moved much. It's trading around the resistance zone. There may be a retracement and possibly a breakout later. Then the GBP AUD, there has been a reasonable movement on this one. This is one that had the inverse head and shoulder pattern. Monday was 18th. Yeah. Price was about breaking out of the neckline of that inverse head and shoulder when we had the analysis on Monday. So far, this has done some 218 pips. It's also having a rejection candle now, so trade should be done with caution until price, reverses and breaks out above this region. So combined, we've seen some close to 300 pips on both Euro AUD and GBP AUD. Then GBP NZD. Where do I have that now? Okay. Yeah, GBP NZD was here on Monday. And price has done some reasonable movements of about another 100 pips on that too. So I remember telling us clearly that what I was giving is a direction for the week, and you can trade it on your own comfortable time frame, with your own strategy. Just make sure you are only buying, and I still maintain it. Only look for a buy. Currently, there may be some retracement, so you need to wait till the buy trend resumes. Currently, this one, so all of them are in a retracement at the moment. But once price breaks all above the recent high, we're going to see a further push to the upside. Chukwu, the money trade dropped on the group on NZD USD. Which of the groups should I still hold? Which group, please? Let me know the specific group, because there are some of those groups that, are purely independent, that people are allowed to drop signals, not PU Prime. So let me know which one it is so I can guide you. But whichever the case may be, make sure you have a stop loss in place. All right, do have a great day ahead. Bye.